This is the cheat sheet review for the lesson entitled Looping with the for iteration statement, and that is CS-ASP_026. And I have a little correction to make on the previous one. I noticed here that I put myArray.sort. Actually, it should just be array.sort and array.reverse, and then you pass in the name of the array like that. All right, so please make that correction. I'm sorry about that. I wasn't paying attention to what I was doing, I guess. All right, moving on now to looping with the for iteration statement. All right, first thing you want to do is the snippet, which is for and then tab, and that'll create the little structure for you, and then you can tab through the replaceable bits, hit enter to start writing code in the code block body. Cool. Okay, so let's just create a real simple example here. The very first one, just to, again, as a reminder, I is less than 10, and then I plus plus. This is basically the very first one that we created, and I'm just going to put your code here because it could be anything that you want to do inside there. Okay, and you can still access the value of I. So I, just to be clear about this, can be any variable name. And then let's talk about the for statement itself. Like the first part is going to be the counter declaration. It can be initialized to any number. The second part, this part here, is going to be the condition that you're going to check. So it can be any expression that equates to a bool. All right, and then the third part here is this code gets actually run after every iteration. So you typically use that then to increment or decrement the counter. All right, and it can step more than one using plus equals, and let me just add this plus plus, or let me do I plus plus, and then I minus minus to remind ourselves of that. Okay, great. Now let me just paste in that same line of code from before, because I don't want to go back into the array here. What happened? Stupid Windows 8 happened is what happened. All right. So I'm just going to paste that in. And so, you can pause the video and catch up to me on that part right there. But basically, we'll go for int I equals 0, and then I is less than names.length, and then we'll go I plus plus. And so this is just a nice little example of working with an array. So you can search for a specific value, and so we're going to do like a if names, and then the way we access a given item, an element in the names array, is to use the counter, the value of I. All right, so equals Professor X. Then we can do something, and I'm just going to go do something here. But the real key to this is that you can break out of additional iterations if you need to by just doing the break statement like so. Okay, and I think that is pretty much all that I wanted to say. Hopefully this all makes sense to you. We're going to use this technique, all the techniques that we just learned about, in the challenge in the very next lesson. So hope you get it. I'm not going to make it too hard, but you'll have to think. Okay, we'll see you there. Thank you.